Welcome in to another episode of the Benchwarmers. I'm Alex. He's Daniel. Recording this a little earlier on a Monday than we usually do, so we're just starting I'm just starting my work week. You're getting ready to end it. High school football, obviously top of mind for us. We're still shooting our previews. After today, we'll have 18 of the 24 shot, which is pretty good.
Yeah, heading up to Texarkana this evening, which is why we're recording this in the afternoon, Monday afternoon.
Right.
And heading into the final week before the countdown starts. We're getting close on it, and it's going to be fun to finish these because then we can shift our focus to the games.
Right.
But it's like phase one is gathering and all of that. Phase two is kind of editing. And then phase three is, I guess I'm botching the phases. Phase one is contacting coaches. Phase two is filming, and then phase three is editing. So there we go. But yeah, it's always a great time of year because these kids are getting excited. You hear the coaches all the time say, hey, we get nervous before practice. Coach Stacy Ballou over at Bird was like, I got butterflies. Yeah. Thinking about this day. Dennis Dunn, North DeSoto, same thing. So it's just like fall camp is here, and let's get ready to roll.
Yeah, pads will be on this week for a lot of teams as well, so we are really there. We've got preseason games in the NFL, and I mean, Shedeur Sanders, best quarterback ever, right? He's going to get his jacket ready. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I love the overreaction for preseason because there have been some Hall of Famers in preseason.
I want Shedeur to do well. That was a joke on the reaction, and he did play well.
He did play well. Like he looked like, okay, this is what
NFL quarterback. Shedeur Sanders or Tyler Shuck? Who you picking right now?
Right now, Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's
Shedeur Sanders or Spencer Rattler.
Shedeur Sanders.
All right, yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
Yeah. By the way, just going back slightly, I think I misquoted Stacy Ballou. I don't think the word butterflies came out of his mouth.
Probably
just
not.
Paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clear that up, by the way. Shout out to Coach Ballou.
Butterfly.
He's not a butterfly kind of guy.
No.
He's ready to rock and roll. But back to the pros. Shedeur Sanders looking good. The one where he kind of rolls out, sets his feet.
Yeah, that was really nice.
That was really good. Tyler Shuck, I think it'll be. I don't want to get too early into it, but I think he'll be the white Jameis Winston in the sense that give and take. Yeah. Like he's going to have some interceptions in there trying to fit it in, and then he'll have a couple of where it's just like, this is good. The touchdown was good. Nice. That was more the wide receiver in the route and the scheme and all that. But he put it there, hit him in stride, and he made the throw. Right. Because there have been instances where quarterbacks like Jameis Winston will maybe overthrow that guy or somebody.
I mean, I hate saying this, Rattler. It just reminds me so much of Carr, man. Like, it really is. Couple plays, nice, makes the right decision, nice throw here. We're moving down the field a little bit, and then the red zone happens.
Yeah. And the not capitalizing off a punt on your opponent inside their own, 30, 20-yard line. They got down to the, inside the 5.
And then they just, it's preseason.
Yeah.
So I'm not freaking out.
Yeah, because,
I'm not freaking out anyways because the expectation's like 2 wins.
Right. So. Will Clapp getting hurt, that wasn't great early. Trevor Penning eventually got hurt, which is, kind of standard in his career so far, unfortunately. Yep. Hopefully injuries aren't very serious. Kellen Moore talks really fast. Kellen Moore talks really fast, and he says a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
But he's not necessarily supposed to give up everything he wants to give up.
I mean, look, I think there's a consensus around the NFL in that locker room of what they're going to be this year. I mean,
not great.
Yeah, I think Kellen Moore understands that this is a rebuild. We're getting the quarterback later. Like, you took a flyer on someone like Shuck, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, okay, no big deal. You move on.
It won't be the end of the world.
For the Cowboys, again, the same thing. Joe Milton, greatest quarterback of all time. I don't really understand.
Dinged his elbow. He'll be all right, though.
Yeah, I don't really understand oh my gosh, this guy can throw 80 yards. He's the best.
Yeah, Jamarcus Russell could throw it.
He could throw
it out the stadium, but
and it's rarely on target.
Right.
I mean.
But I guess Joe Milton looked good. I barely was able to watch the game.
He had a couple where he just launched them downfield. not caught, but
Right.
it was like,
He
oh
launched-
my gosh, he
threw it really
what an
far.
arm, which like cool, but
I'd rather my quarterback be
they
accurate.
Dak needs to stay healthy.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah.
And CD Lamb, wow.
Yeah, get off the sidelines.
Gosh,
I mean, it was it was funny. It could have been a lot worse. The fact that nobody was, hurt.
It's
or
funny
anything.
because no one got hurt.
Right, but he
got rocked,
creamed on the sideline,
and
and it was just like
they don't do it anymore. But that would have been a perfect jacked up.
right.
The best.
Thankfully, he didn't like bite his tongue on that, because
Dude.
like he
Well,
like shoulder right into the back, just.
But like, let's be. And I'm sure
It looked worse in slow motion than the full speed.
I'm sure this has been talked about at length. But what was he doing?
Just.
But come on, I mean,
being too close to the field.
But you're on an NFL side. You've been on a football sideline.
How many times have we seen it's happened in the NFL. The one that jumps to my mind is when Mike Tomlin deliberately did it as a coach.
Yeah, but that ref. I mean, it was mid-play.
Yeah, and
in the pass that he was celebrating wasn't even caught.
Well, he was like already celebrating like, oh, this is going to be a big play,
but it was not.
So he was like not in the field of play.
Yeah, no, I know. But
side of the white boundary, he was like maybe closer towards the edge. So the ref, I'm not blaming the ref at all. That's his territory, and they're entitled to it by the
they
rules.
like run,
and they are booking it, and they have to. They got to be on these plays.
They run in high school, and they're not nearly,
right.
Yeah.
And it was just wrong place, wrong time, and
it was hilarious. I mean, I watched it so many times.
Gave me some great content to talk about.
I kind of hoped you
Sunday.
didn't see it so I could use it tonight.
No, I mean you could run it again.
No, I'm not going
Maybe
to.
Put some,
I figured
yakety sax music.
I figured you wouldn't have seen it because
I'm a journalist, man. I had to, But Brian Schottenheimer not pleased overall with the Cowboys penalties because on that drive. They got down to like the 5-yard line, and it was like a procedural penalty, brought it back, and they ended up with points.
Which is kind of, I mean...
the tale of the Cowboys for the last 5-6 seasons.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's been, which, I don't know. And again...
Undisciplined and like procedural penalties.
None of this stuff matters. It's preseason. The Cowboys aren't playing. I mean, they're not. Your big guns aren't even dressed. It's week 1 of the preseason.
Yeah.
You have some teams that are going out there, like the Packers, for example. They played everybody. They look like crap. I mean, you don't know. And the Packers, they're going to be fine. Like they're going to be a good team. But it's really fun to watch. Yeah. It was nice to just have those logos on a field.
Yeah.
On my TV this weekend.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, we're back. We're getting there.
Yeah, I was able to watch more of the Saints than the Cowboys because of I was on set at the time of the Cowboys and had a little bit more time to watch the Saints. But yeah, it is good to see it back. And yeah, don't take it too seriously, but it's serious for those guys on the field trying to make the team. But when you don't have your starters out there, like no main defensive starter was out there for the Saints really.
Yeah, and their defense was decent. But I mean, I guess you're going against Heineke.
Right.
Which I forgot the Chargers had Heineke. I like Kendre Miller.
Yeah. Kendre Miller was good. Good to see him because he was like unhealthy all last year, recovering from injuries.
Look, they're going to need him. I mean, you can't. Kamara's not your every down guy, obviously. So that's positive. But for the Saints, it comes down to the quarterback, and the quarterbacks just don't look good. I mean, surprise, surprise, we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else was the big preseason. I mean, Shador was kind of the story.
Yeah.
Jameis being awesome. That was.
Yeah.
What's new?
Yeah.
I mean,
there was like several injuries. A couple of ones where players' seasons have already ended. That was kind of like a big storyline, and that's kind of every year. There's going to be somebody get hurt.
Yeah.
I think Vikings also had a defensive back go down. Shout out to Tatum Everett, but.
No, I actually saw her doing some sideline stuff. Yeah. That was really cool.
She's talented.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, don't get too over hyped or underwhelmed about what you see in the preseason, and I think most of us
just remember
are relatively measured about that.
Everyone remember the year that the Saints won the Super Bowl, right? They were 13-0. They were 0-4 in the preseason.
Yeah.
It means jack squat. Don't worry about it.
And how many Super Bowls have the Ravens won while they were like on their undefeated run in the preseason?
Right.
I think one.
Yeah. They won
Super Bowl against the 49ers.
You take the one.
Yeah.
Right. And then
Larger
was it
point.
the Vikings that hadn't won one in a long time, and they finally did win a preseason game? They had some streak where they hadn't won one in a while. I don't know, something like that. What a great NFL recap that was. My goodness.
Lovely.
I mean, it
Yeah,
is
we're
awesome.
on top of it.
Yeah, and we are in high school football mode.
Yeah.
I mean, that is obviously what's been top of mind for us for the past month almost now. We're getting there. As we said, this August 17th. So when you listen to this, the Sunday that's coming would be the start of the countdown.
It'll be 4 days after.
Yes, so we are almost there. We've got stories ready to go. It's going to be awesome. Now, thanks to the fine folks at the Independence Bowl, we had a event where we could talk to all of our local schools. It was Independence Bowl, Radiance Technology Independence Bowl High School Football Media Day, put on in large part by our great friend, Erik Evenson. See, that'll make more sense once you hear the interview. Yeah. But he was our guest this week. Great guy. A ton of exciting stuff going on with the Independence Bowl. So let's take a listen to our interview with Erik. We now welcome in a special guest here to the Benchwarmers, Erik Evenson with the Independence Bowl. Someone we deal with, work with all the time.
Regularly.
Yeah, and really a lot this past week with the Independence Bowl, Radiance Technology Independence Bowl High School Media Day. Erik, thanks for hanging out with us today. Let's start with the Media Day, and how much of a success do you think it was?
I think it was a huge success. You never know really what to expect for the first year of an event. And it's even going back to, this was something we kind of started talking about in the fall of last year of, hey, we should do this. And, how would we best structure it and all of that. So even going back to then, we've been planning it for a long time. And then as the planning got closer and, as we started to say, okay, let's start trying to call coaches, do we even have the right phone numbers? Can we get in contact with all these coaches? Even going back to then, I had no clue what to expect in terms of how much of a success it would be, how much turnout we would have from both the coach side, the player side, from the media side. I just really didn't know. So looking back on it, it was probably about a month out. We were like, okay, we're really into it now, and there's no turning back. We're going to do this. We've announced it, and the coaches just started, kind of piling in and getting their responses back. Hey, we'd love to do this. This sounds great. We're in, and we invited, I think, 35 schools, and we had 30 there. So, and I think that really most of the ones that didn't come, it was just a problem with the kids were in class already. So we'll probably adjust something for the future to, get rid of that problem a little bit, maybe push the date forward a little bit. But I thought it was a huge success. We've had great feedback from the coaches. We've heard from a lot of them. They were telling us on the way out of the event, hey, great event. Looking forward to it next year. We've got emails and texts from them the last couple of days, thanking us for doing it. And I'm hoping from the media side, I saw a lot of coverage, so I'm hoping it was helpful for you guys as well. But I think it's something that we really needed. I know Caddo Parish used to do a smaller one for just the Caddo Parish schools. But, there's just so many high school teams here that, need coverage, and it's hard for you guys to get to everybody, plus the East Texas schools, Southern Arkansas. So I think it's something that our area really needed, and I'm hoping it was helpful for you guys. I know the coaches really enjoyed it.
No, it was so helpful, especially like you kind of said. A lot of those schools, we do the 24 preview stories, but we cover a lot more than that. And it was just so nice to be able to chat with some of those schools and then add that coverage in, surrounding our preview stories, so we can, get to even more. So it was awesome. I mean, I had a blast there. Just being able to see everyone under one roof was fantastic. But how important do you think something like that is for the Independence Bowl to, A, just get the name out there, but B, have all these kids get a firsthand look at that club level? It's a beautiful view onto the turf. Yeah. How important was it for the bowl itself?
I think it's really important, like you said, just getting our branding out there. And, I get asked all the time, what do we do, 10 or 11 months out of the year when we're not working on the bowl game? Well, we're doing events like that. We're doing community events that are, one, either driving economic impact to our area through, we do a youth tennis tournament that brings in hundreds of kids from out of state. or out of town that stay in a hotel here. They go to our restaurants, shop here. So things like that bring in economic impact. But then we also have events like this, like our youth clinic, that is just kind of giving back to the community through promotion of our kids here, or our schools here, or help them out with the youth clinic, a free youth clinic with college coaches. So just the exposure we get from that is awesome. But then, as you talked about, it's kind of a grassroots effort, a little bit of getting the high school football players more aware of the Independence Bowl, the stadium, our organization, and what we do, because we're hoping that once these kids, graduate from high school, go through college, some of them are going to end up back here in Shreveport, Bossier, or in the Northwest Louisiana area. And we want them to be our next group of fans, our next group of foundation members, board members, and leaders of our organization. We love having young people in our organization that can kind of bring a new vibe, a new direction, or kind of freshness to our organization, and new ideas. So I think just kind of getting that grassroots effort of making these kids aware of what the Independence Bowl does, and we do things other than just the bowl game. We try to give back to the community, so that way in the future, maybe it's something that they want to be a part of.
And definitely, you've been a part of this organization for a while now. I would say thinking going on maybe a decade, getting there,
Yeah.
or creeping up on it anyway. What has been your favorite part about this job, being the director of communications for the Independence Bowl, and everything that kind of goes involved with that? And what is your favorite part about maybe getting to travel and things that are involved with promoting this bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think this high school media day event, I told Jen Ryder in our office, I said, I think that was the best event that we've done, in terms of just, it was so much fun, and the feedback we got, and just seeing something that we do a lot of events, and I've worked a lot of events. This is the first time we've done something from scratch, idea, pen to paper, and brought it to life, at least from my side of a media event. So that recency bias, I think that was probably the coolest event that I've done here outside of the bowl game. But then I mean, it's hard to beat the bowl. It's just such a big event, and such a huge task throughout the year, of all the moving parts. And I kind of, every year, I'm sitting up in the press box, and I think this will be my 8th game this year.
Wow.
I think I've seen kickoff twice. It's just like I'm always running around doing some. I've seen kickoff twice, but then once the game's on, and you look up at the press box TVs, and it's on ESPN or ABC, whatever channel we have it on, and just knowing that we got there, it's all the moving parts that we put into motion, and all the different organizations, entities that we have to work with to make the bowl happen. That's just such a cool feeling every year, because I came from minor league hockey before this, and there was 56 games a year. So you mess something up, one game, it's Friday night. Okay, Saturday you can fix it on Saturday. Well, it's only once a year here, so it's I get a list every year of things. Okay, I can improve that for next year, and then it's whether or not I'm going to remember half of them for the next year, and be able to improve upon stuff. It's kind of cool only getting one shot to do things every year, and it being such a big event, it's cool to just see it see it on the field.
My mental list of things to fix on a Friday Football Fever season gets way smaller as summer goes on, because I just forget everything. So it's very relatable.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you a little more about the game, but before we go there, you did the high school media day, but you got another huge event coming up with the kickoff luncheon. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's probably our second biggest event of the year. And we're really excited to have Mac Brown this year coming to speak at the convention center on August 18th for the kickoff dinner. We got to talk to him on our Inside the Eyeball podcast a couple weeks ago, and I think I asked him 5 questions and he talked for 45 minutes. It was just such a fun conversation, and we were talking, and I know he's a year out of college football, but just the knowledge and the wisdom that he had about everything, all the different changes in college football right now and the different, moving parts. If Nick Saban doesn't want to be the commissioner of college football or whatever, the people are pushing for, I'll advocate for Mac Brown, because I was just kind of blown away by his, what he had to say, his answers, and his, kind of guidance. So I'm really excited to hear what he has to say. I know we'll have a ton of good stories at the kickoff dinner from him, because he's, just had such a historic career. And so I'm really excited about that. It's a cool event. And the last couple of years, we've had really cool speakers: Holly Rowe, Paul Skeens, Kim Mulkey. But I think Mac Brown kind of brings us back to what really is like the roots of this event, which is it's a kickoff to college football season and kind of the countdown to the Independence Bowl. And to kind of get back to those roots of having a legendary college football figure that comes and welcomes everybody and kind of gets our area ready for college football. I'm really excited about that.
You brought up the name Nick Saban. Just to make sure I have the bio correct, you're a graduate of the University of Alabama, correct?
I am. Yep. Yeah. I'm deep in enemy territory.
No, it's good. It's all SEC country, so it's sports hate. Being an Alabama fan in Louisiana, how often do you kind of maybe sport the Alabama A, wear that crimson red, kind of let the people know by the colors?
Right
there we go. There we go. You answered my question immediately.
I used to not sport it as much, but my wife's parents, they just keep on getting me Alabama gear, and they're huge. They're LSU season ticket holders, like huge LSU fans. But my mother-in-law, she just keeps on peppering me with Alabama stuff, and I don't think my father-in-law likes it too much, but they keep getting it for me. So now I've just got more Alabama gear I can wear.
We got mother-in-law on your side. That's good. That's good.
Heck yeah. And this is a dumb question, but what's it like to cheer for a team that wins all the time? My favorite teams are terrible. Tell me how that experience is.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really, this is going to sound dumb. It's frustrating when there's years like last year when I'm so mad, Alabama went 9-4 last year. And that's, everybody else is, oh, boohoo, cry me a river. And, so it's hard. It's hard for me because you get no love from anybody. You get no leeway. And everybody, if you lose a game, everybody just says, oh, well, you won a ton.
Yeah, I just have one championship in my fandom.
It balances out. I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, so it really balances out.
Okay, yeah, you got a good balance.
Those two fandoms really balance out.
Yeah, that's very fair.
But you get to cheer for an LSU guy in Paul Skeens, so you got the, it's a mix.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's, I have, that's funny. I always, I have a bunch of Pirates gear I wear all the time too. And everybody always, oh, well, you're a Pirates fan because of Paul Skeens now? I'm like, no, I've unfortunately been a lifelong Pirates fan.
Need to get you in touch with Doug Ireland, and y'all could talk about your Pirates woes and hope for the future.
Doug and I, we talk about the Pirates, the Steelers. We're in a tough spot with our pro sports franchises right now.
How are we feeling about Aaron Rodgers since you mentioned the Steelers?
He can't be much worse than what they've had at quarterback the last couple of years. That's kind of where I'm at, but I don't know. They'll go 9-8. I guess we're playing 17 games, and 9-8 again, or 10-7, and that's every year now.
Yep. I was in that scary zone for a minute when it looked like the Saints were going to get Rodgers, and I'd rather just be bad.
Yeah.
Than be.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, especially with what looks like it's going to be a great QB class, and the draft is in Pittsburgh next year, so I was really thinking I thought they were going to tank and try to draft their next franchise quarterback in Pittsburgh, but who knows?
Just keep slapping the old Band-Aid on it, and it's a good strategy,
Yeah,
I
kick the
guess.
can down the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I did want to ask a little bit about more about the Independence Bowl and the game itself. You know, we see the game on TV or the highlights. We go to the press conference and stuff, but we don't see any of the behind-the-scenes work. And I was just curious, maybe what's one thing or two things that are very difficult about putting on a big bowl game like that we wouldn't notice or wouldn't see.
I think, I mean, I guess an easy answer is just there's so many there's so many entities and so many different organizations that we have to work with. So if you were to go to one of our our game ops meetings, it's there's 50, 60 people there, and it's people representing the Independence Bowl, SPAR, the city of Shreveport, um, fire, Shreveport PD, EMS, other government entities. We have once we get close to the game, we have ESPN and school representatives there. We have the refs at those at the last few the last game ops meeting. There's just so many. We have people from the production side, people from the media side, all of our different hospitality people throughout the week, because it's not just, those game ops meetings are really about all of bowl week and not just the game. So it has to do with, okay, when are the teams getting in town? When are their, equipment trucks getting in town? What kind of security do we need for those? What, for everything. So there's just so many moving parts. And luckily we have so many great people that work the game and do it every year that it kind of does, works itself right now. But there's just so many moving parts that it's we have I think 5 or 6 game ops meetings leading up to the game, and we've got a packet of of it's like 10 pages worth of stuff that we need to check off and make sure we're doing every year. So I would say that's probably it's just such a big production and big event of all these different people that have to do their job, whether however big or small it is. Those we're relying on a lot of people to do their part, and because we've got such a small staff, that's probably the hardest part. And then I guess, and then the other part is just the timing. It's once we get the teams this year, it's a lot easier because it's December 30th. But the years when it's December 15th or 16th, we basically have 13 days from Selection Sunday until the game. So it's just hit the ground running. Most days in those kinds of years, we're at the office from 8 a.m. till 9 or 10 at night. And it is only a couple of days, a couple weeks out of the year, but it's hard work, and we're working on Christmas. We're working on those holidays. So I know you guys do that as well. So, but that's probably the two hardest things is just getting everybody to do their little part, and then the timing is just it's no matter how much time. Even this year, with having I think this December 7th is Selection Sunday, and our game's on the 30th. So having 24 days, it'll still sneak up on us.
Of the bowls that you've been involved in, just kind of keeping it on the kind of the game day experience, and you've only been able to really see 2 kickoffs, what game have you maybe enjoyed the most on replay or been able to be a part of in your time with the Independence Bowl?
That's a good question. Probably on. I'm between either 2021 BYU UAB, because that was such a good game. It came down to the wire. UAB won by 3, and I think they forced a fumble right at the very end. And that was cool to go. That game was on ABC as well, so it was cool to go back and watch it on ABC. And we had a huge viewership that year. And then the other game is probably Houston, Louisiana. Just because we had so many challenges that day. with the weather. It's like 8 degrees
Yeah.
at kickoff, I think. The elevator broke. I got stuck in the elevator at 11:45 in the morning. I was stuck there for like an hour. The pipes froze. We just had so many issues that day that we had to deal with. That day was just such a whirlwind, and then to go back and watch, and it was a really good game. That was probably those two. But anytime we have a really good crowd too, it's fun to go back and watch and see a really really lively stadium as well.
It's funny, that was Daniel's favorite game to cover too.
The hand warmers were in the gloves, in the feet, about 4 layers at least. It was quite an experience.
And I was actually sitting in this studio.
I think I had, like, I don't have any like long johns or anything, so I think I had joggers. I was wearing a suit, so I think I had joggers on under my suit.
Yeah.
I had like a long sleeve like Under Armour shirt and a dress shirt, my jacket, and then I think I had like an overcoat too.
Yeah.
That was a tough one.
And that was when we were renovating the studio downstairs.
Yeah.
So I was in here doing the highlights, and I want both of y'all to know it was nice and warm in here the whole time. So
it's nice to know.
It was good. Yeah, it was good.
I remember watching. I remember watching all the people coming off the field, all the news, and like, there's not much you can do for your fingers and all, when you're shooting. So it's, they're all just like trying so hard to stay warm, and yeah.
I was happy to be in the studio for that. But I'm not good with the cold. You did mention some roots in hockey. I really wanted to get into that a little bit. Tell me about how you kind of got started in this business.
Yeah. So I went to Alabama for like, it was a major in telecommunications and film. So really sports broadcasting. What I wanted to do with my life, I wanted to be a sports radio host. That's all I wanted to do. I went to college to be a sports talk radio host, and so got out of college, and I was just trying to get on the air anywhere I could. So I moved down to Macon, Georgia, about 2 hours south of Atlanta, and I was working for the Macon Mayhem. It was a hockey team in the Southern Professional Hockey League.
Yeah.
And I was doing play-by-play for them, and I was doing their PR as well. And that was right out of college. I got that job in 2016. And then about probably like 10 months later, I got a gig I was still working for the hockey team, and I was also doing a sports radio, sports talk show from 11 to 1 every day. And that was kind of, I was like, okay, I'm into sports radio. And I just kind of, I don't know, I kind of realized like there was a lot more opportunities, I thought, behind the scenes doing PR and communications. And I didn't really want to wake up one day and be like 45 and still working in a really, really small market doing radio, making like $800, $800 every 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to go. And I really liked doing PR. So I just thought it was kind of a more stable way to move forward in sports. And so my dad was in sports PR for his entire life, and so he had made a lot of connections, and I had made a lot of connections through him. And one of his good friends was doing PR for the Bowl Association at the time, and Missy told him that she was looking for someone, and he told me to send in my resume. And I think I sent in my resume on a Thursday morning. Missy called me on Thursday afternoon and said she wanted to talk to me on Friday. I talked to her on Friday. She said, okay, we're going to set up a Zoom interview for Monday with, I think there was 12 people on the Zoom, and it was our whole executive committee, personnel committee, staff. It was a lot of people. Interview there, and she offered me the job on Monday. So it was like 3 days, and I just, I thought it was a great opportunity. I knew nothing about Shreveport other than the Independence Bowl, and I looked up Shreveport on Google, and I saw a picture of the skyline. I said, that place looks pretty cool. And
There we go.
I moved out here.
And you've been out here for a while to experience the literal flavors of Shreveport. I feel like I'm asking a lot of what's your favorite questions. What's your favorite place to eat in Shreveport, man? Like, what do you do outside of it? Can't it all just be Indie Bowl stuff? What do you do to kind of maybe relax and get out and see the town?
Yeah, my biggest hobby is golf. I play golf all the time. It's I'm hooked. I can't stop thinking about golf. I can't. I play all the time. So my biggest hobby is golf. I still play hockey. I play in the men's league here over at the Hirsch, so that's a lot of fun. And the first restaurant I ever went to was Superior Grill, and that's the first restaurant I took my parents to too when they came and visited. And I think my whole family thinks that Superior Grill is like the best Mexican food we've ever had. So that's probably my go-to like number one place. But meanwhile, there's so much good food here, and I can't tell you the last time I went to a chain. I mean, me and my wife love going to Zoozle. Frank's Pizza is awesome. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think of all the other. If you guys haven't been to Koi is
it's
the new
so
place
good.
Online is
Yes.
that place is great. There's so many good places I can't even. I live down here in South Shreveport, so El Cabo is really good Mexican too. There's so many good places here that you can. Key Mexico. I think Mexican food, Mexican and Italian are my two favorite foods. So I'm in a pretty good spot with the Mexican here with with Key Mexico, Superior, all those all the places. El Patio is great. So.
Well,
yeah.
I know you may not visit a lot of chains, but if I do have to recommend one, Southern Classic Chicken, check them out when you get a chance.
I do love Southern
I knew that was
Classic
coming.
Chicken. So I do. So a couple years ago at the Independence Bowl, this was like January, right after the game. We said, okay, we're going to do a blind taste test. We went up when our office was downtown. We went up to North Market and we hit Southern Classic and we hit Popeyes, and we did a blind taste test to see what was better. And far and away, all of us chose Southern Classic.
Oh yeah, that's an easy choice to
answer.
And Daniel missed out yesterday. We had another promo shoot, and so I had the full feast of Southern Classic by myself yesterday. It was unbelievable.
I try not to let myself have it too much.
Yeah, well,
we've been on a run here at KTBS.
I've been eating a lot of Southern Classic chicken the past month, so
I'm jealous.
I usually call it the football 15 when the football season starts, and I get a lot of fried chicken and I gain a little weight. I didn't know you played in the men's league, man. I have been wanting to get out there so bad. It's just tough with our schedule.
Yeah.
And I need goalie gear and all that stuff. But
man, we could use some goalies too. Like we could use some goalies in the league.
I mean, if there's a weekday that I need to fill in and anchor,
free or half off. Yeah, I think goalies are either free or half off because we need goalies. So
what are the nights for games?
It's Wednesdays and Sundays.
Okay, I'm off. To change your schedule.
Look, I can make a sacrifice here and there. Sundays, you're good.
I could do a Sunday.
You can do a Sunday, no problem.
Do a Sunday all day. What time are the games though?
I think Sundays. It's between 6:30 and 7:45, and then Wednesdays it's a little bit later. I think it's 7. I think it's like 7 and 8:15, or 7:15
Watch the
and
Sunday
8:30
news,
or something like that.
Get informed on local happenings, and then go out and play in the.
This is happening. Like, I'm getting out there.
It's a lot of fun. I didn't realize when I moved here, I didn't even think about having a men's league here, and we have 4 teams. And I think there's like 65 guys, and it's a lot of fun. We have got skill levels of kind of all ranges from guys that are kind of just learning to skate and then some guys that played either junior or some college and stuff like that. So it's a good league.
Yeah, and I know some of my buddies, Levi and Thor, they go out there back from back from my old hockey days. So that would be a lot of fun. And
Levi and Thor were both on my team this year.
Nice. See, I'm jealous.
Yeah,
Those are my
yeah,
guys.
we had a good year.
And I did want to mention, just random, but this would be our second week in a row with a hockey play-by-play guy on, because we had Chet on last week.
You're right.
So it's hockey season, baby. We're back.
Yeah.
It's always hockey season around here.
Man, I don't miss doing hockey play-by-play. I mean, it was fun, but it's hard.
Oh,
Radio's probably, of the mediums, print, broadcast, video, radio's probably the toughest.
But hockey play-by-play in general, I mean, the speed of the game, the puck's sometimes hard to find. I mean, you're getting a thought out and like 5 other things have happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
so that was one thing I didn't say. So my first job was doing hockey play-by-play, and so at Alabama, I played club hockey my first couple of years, and we actually had a pretty good broadcast, like a student-led broadcast. And so my last couple of years, I wanted to get some on-air time. So I went to start doing the broadcast, and I did color commentary. I never did play-by-play. We had a really good play-by-play guy who is still doing it in minor league hockey today. So I only did color. But my first job, I was talking to him. They just kept on asking me, so you've done hockey broadcasting, right? And I said, yeah, I've done hockey broadcast. I never said whether I did color or play-by-play. So my first game doing play-by-play was my first game in this league, and I think it was a disaster my first few games. But then I kind of got the hang of it after that.
Yeah. What year did you play club at Alabama? I know you're younger than me.
I played 2012 and 13.
Okay, all right. We were a few years back, because I played for UL in 2008, 9, and we definitely played Alabama. So, but I was a little bit too old for that.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to wrap this thing up. I got a 3:00 shows. Dang responsibilities.
Yeah.
We do our what are we doing questions. We did kind of touch.
Yeah, we got
food.
golf.
We got golf.
We got Mexican and Italian.
But what about TV shows? Yeah, streaming, whatever. What are we watching?
Ooh, my wife. So I watched this. So we're watching Sons of Anarchy right now, and I watched it in college.
Yes.
And I forgot how good this show was. Yeah. Like, it's right up there with the best. And it took me 2 years to get my wife to watch it because of the whole biker gang thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're hooked now. I think we started a couple weeks ago, and we're on season 5 right now. So I mean, I just forgot how good this show is. It's so good.
Yeah, that's when I watched in college. I would need like a memory refresh, but I just remember the feeling of like tension and angst and like excitement and terror all at the same time while watching.
Yeah, it's constant. And I forgot. I remembered some of like the big moments, but I forgot a lot of like the other stuff that happened that is so good. So that's what we're on right now. I've kind of. I'm thinking of. I haven't watched any of the new SEC documentary yet. I've got to get into that. Yeah.
There's so much.
I'm kind of a big. I love all those sports documentaries and stuff like that. My wife thinks I'm crazy. That I mean, all I do is consume sports.
Yep.
That's basically it.
One more secondary "What are you watching?" question. I know that you are a Star Wars fan. I don't want to get Alex riled up here.
Yeah.
But what is your favorite Star Wars movie or the set of the trilogies, prequels, the OG trilogy, or the New Age trilogy? What's your favorite of the bunch?
I think OG.
Okay, we're good.
But I'm a sucker for like the new like all the like the new. I don't have the right word, but like animation and like the way things are filmed now is just like
right.
It just blows me away. Like everything, like to compare it, like the Top Gun movies. Like the first one's obviously a classic, but like I think the second, Maverick, just the way it's filmed and like it just blows you away. So the OGs. I'm not going to top that, but just the way things are filmed now, it hooks you a little bit more.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
This could be a podcast in and of itself.
Yeah, I'm trying
of Star Wars.
I'm trying to reel it in. I'm wearing my Millennium Falcon shirt.
Yeah, Alex is wearing his Millennium Falcon shirt. So
KTBS Star Wars podcast.
Oh gosh, I would love that.
Yeah.
I have so many topics we could get into forever, but and that's just an excuse to have you back on. We can talk a little Star Wars. Our last "What are we doing?" question: what are we listening to? What are those bands or songs that you always seem to go back to?
I listen to everything. I mean, I love. My go-to is probably country. Big country guy, but I'm a big like '90s like alt rock fan as well. I mean, I love oldies, the Eagles, Rolling Stones, all those bands. I could listen to anything. I like rap. I like EDM. I like everything. But country's probably my go-to, and I'm really right now. My go-to is kind of like '90s, early 2000s country right now. I guess it's just summer. It's hot, so I'm kind of just I'm into Kenny Chesney, Toby Keith, Alan Jackson, all those. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's the vibe for sure. We got to wrap things up. Yeah. I did want to bring up one last thing before we go. I got to get something off my chest here. So when we I don't know if Daniel knows. When we were before we started recording the interview, we were talking about your last name and how I've been saying it incorrectly on air for years, and it's Evenson and not Evenson.
Yep.
If I'm being completely honest with you, and Daniel can back this up, I always want to call you Evan for a first name.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I get that a lot. So I've got one I'll try to keep it short.
Oh, you're good.
One brief story. So my junior year at Alabama, one of the reasons I stopped playing hockey was I had a really bad ankle injury my freshman year, and I could just never get past it. It would turn into bone bruises. It was turn into all kinds of stuff. Every single time I tried to come back and skate, I could never fully get healthy. I ended up having surgery, and that's kind of why I stopped playing. And so went into broadcasting, and then I worked at a hockey rink in high school, and I would do it on my summer breaks or winter breaks in college. So I was also kind of the equipment manager. So we had this award. It was for someone that just really cared about the Alabama hockey program and kind of went out of their way to help. And so I won this award, and it was really cool. I get honored on the ice, and the owner of the Alabama hockey team, who I'd met a million times, he knew exactly who I was. He announced his award, and he said, "Now to receive the award, Derek Stevenson."
All right, I don't feel as bad anymore.
Sometimes you get tongue-tied, I guess, or you get the mismatch of the dictionary.
All my friends after that in college call me Derek Stevenson.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll probably slide that in there now that we know that story. That's good stuff. All right, well, Erik.
With a K.
With a K. We have had so much fun with you, man. We got to get you back on, especially when we're getting closer to the bowl game. You did mention your podcast. Let our listeners know where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys can listen to the Inside the Eyeball podcast on wherever you guys get it. Spotify, Google, Apple. We're on all the podcast services. We also have the full episodes on our YouTube channel. So it's a really good podcast. We have former coaches, players from the bowl on. We always talk what's going on in college football right now with all the changes. We've had guys like Ross Dellinger, Brett McMurphy, and others on too. So really good podcast. Hope you guys listen.
All right, Erik. Thanks so much, man. We will chat with you soon.
Guys.
And best of luck on.
I had a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck on the kickoff dinner, and of course the big game in December.
Okay. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, Erik. Always a good time with him. We definitely will have him back on. We're getting close to the bowl game, and so you're going to Texarkana. I'm going out to the old stomping grounds at Houghton. Finally, going to get a view of that scoreboard.
Yeah,
and we're looking forward to that. I can't. I was talking with Coach Guin, Rodney Guin at Calvary when I was at his practice, and he said, he told Sewell, you have to put some points on that board if you're going to put that thing up. The pressure's on.
And just spot thinking. I feel like we need to figure out a way for you to be there for that opening like game where they debut the scoreboard officially. Maybe not to pre-produce anything and your plans for that Friday, but just kind of give you that treat.
Yeah, and I mean, we were going to that plan was already done,
right?
Because I was going to send Sydney Lane,
right? But then now she's a teacher.
Yeah, so that doesn't work out.
Dealing with those fourth graders.
Yeah, got to come up with a new like teaching nickname. If only she was substitute teaching, because Sydney Substitute Lane would work,
right.
But she's not. She's like the real deal. And we're wishing her the very best. I just wanted to be cheeky right there. But we'll figure that out. We'll get out to Houghton. Speaking of, I did the Houghton Sox today since I'm going out to the stomping ground of the Bucks.
Okay, I see you.
Go Bucks.
I went with
Regina.
Found this out. This is saying royalty.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I had to look that up. Once I got that, I was like, I haven't seen this symbol before. Actually, I have. It's like a deep old saying.
That was a tattoo that I thought about, but it was like, I don't want to have to explain it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But these are cool socks because
Yeah, the socks are good because they're not permanent.
Right.
You don't have to explain them all the time. But let's see, Tia, what you got?
I haven't watched Happy Gilmore 2 yet, so I'm ticked off at myself for that.
Yep.
But I will be watching it this evening with my fiance, so
Yes.
I won't be ticked off anymore for now.
You might be ticked off at the beginning.
We'll see. I've avoided spoilers so far. Been good. A couple of cameos that I know, but I haven't seen it just yet. But I will have my review of Happy Gilmore 2 in the next Benchwarmers.
Love it. I've been watching season 2 of Twisted Metal. Mm-hmm. Oh man,
yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah,
and I was a big Twisted Metal guy.
Anthony Mackie.
Yep,
from New Orleans.
And Will Arnett plays Sweet Tooth, or he voices Sweet Tooth, who is then played by another actor because he's a big guy.
Right.
Twisted Metal was like my favorite video game when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So much, in fact, that Sweet Tooth was my hockey helmet design all the time. So very excited when they came up with the show. So been enjoying that. It's a little wacky.
Yeah.
But like
it's
in a
twisted,
good.
It's Twisted Metal.
Yeah. It kind of fits the theme to the game. So we've been loving that.
Melissa's scared of clowns. So anytime it pops up on the Peacock, like, hey, watch this, she's like, nope.
Yeah, that's how Kim is, and I'm like, oh my, please, because I know my wife would like it.
Yeah.
And not the clowns. I mean, good thing I'm not playing hockey anymore. I don't know what she would do with the clown helmet though.
I don't know if it would work out, man.
No, that would have been a huge problem. I mean, it's one of the helmets is in my game room, and every time she comes in, she's like, oh god, I hate that thing. I hate that thing. All right, so looking at me, like, it's the killer clown, man. Yeah. It was awesome, but. All right, we're going to go.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot more we've left on the bone there, but we've got another episode next week, of course. We are thinking about, we haven't finalized this yet, but we're thinking about doing our KTBS Fantasy Football Draft all live on the show, which I think we can pull off. We get everybody in a Zoom.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll be entertaining. You don't know until you try it.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, we could keep it. We could keep the conversation going. Not everyone will be in because some people are going to auto draft, and that takes forever. But we'll just have to. Yeah. We'll make it work. Big league this year. Matt's done a nice job of getting the everyone in there.
Yeah.
I want to say so. We got a couple weeks before we do this draft, so I think we're going to wait till like real late in the season to do it. So we'll have some time to do that.
Quick mention: sports AP Top 5 comes out. Texas number 1, Penn State number 2, LSU number 9,
and Clemson
4.
So that's a top 10 matchup.
So top 10 matchup. Looking forward to that. Garrett Nussmeier's health.
Yeah. So what's the update?
Okay.
Now?
So it was like I heard Joe Scarborough, one of the reporters, say he had surgery on the right knee, which was whatever the plantar patellar tendon issue, tendonitis. But he was wearing a brace on his left knee in practice. So, like, what is it? Maybe I'm getting some bad information. Because every article I looked was just knee, not necessarily specific.
Well, Kelly
surgery, and even Kelly was like, "Oh, I can't even remember which one it was."
Yeah, I found that weird too.
So he was moving around and rolling around, and that's great. So as long as he's not, he's debilitated.
Yeah, like as long as he can. If he needs to take some time off, he'll be all right.
Right.
Like he
looked good in that one Twitter clip on LSU football.
He'll be fine. Look, we're not going to panic. This is not panic time.
No.
This is happy. What was it? Stephen Dennis said it in our interview. There's never another time in the year when everyone is filled with hope.
Yeah.
So like we're good. This is it. This is the year, Daniel. Garrett Nussmeier. Second year.
This is last year. You ain't got no more shots after this.
The last two LSU quarterbacks in their second year.
Yeah.
They won the Heisman.
I don't go that far. Because then Arch Manning's going to win the Heisman, Texas going to win the national title, and then the Saints are going to draft him. I'm still keeping that.
Archie said it ain't happening.
That far off.
Archie said it ain't happening. But see, you're saying.
What does he know? He's just his grandfather.
But see, now you're kind of going back on what you said previously. You want Texas to win the national championship.
You want to know how much I'm going back? I think I'm kind of liking the Saints gold alternates. They look a little better.
Let's go.
So I don't know. We'll see how they look on TV.
I know, but
like actually like live in person, because it may have been the lighting.
The pants yesterday.
Yeah.
Did that not make you feel a little better? Because that is the gold.
The full body made it look good, and maybe it was the lighting of the
full body gold would be atrocious.
No, what I'm saying is like the full body shot of the pants and the jersey, like the way it was done and what I saw. Or maybe I'm just
they're gonna do the full gold.
I'm just probably a hypocrite.
I'm glad they don't have a Thursday night game, because that seems like a full gold game.
Yeah, nah.
That would be so ugly.
Yeah, nah. That wouldn't be good.
All right, that's my pre-TO'd.
Yeah.
Was when the Saints, when the season is like done, out of reach. Like, remember last year when they did the black jersey, white pants, gold helmet? Like the very last game.
I'm just
horrible.
Like it, yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
The season's going to be well out of reach. Screw it. All gold. Let's go. And I'm ticked off already. All right, guys. That's been another episode of the Benchwarmers. We'll be back next week. Who our guest is, we haven't figured that out yet. But we'll see you next week here on the Benchwarmers.